Hey YouTubers, this is Fran-Sez. It's a Sunday afternoon about 5 p.m. and thought I'd just give an update and a video. Sorry, I should have combed my hair out earlier, but I've been home for a couple hours and it is very, very hot in Jacksonville. It was very humid this morning. And when I went out to the bus stop to catch a bus into town to go to church, oh my goodness, I had to wait about half an hour. And, excuse me, I just started gritting my teeth. It hurts when the comb pulls on the hair. And I got a couple knots in the back. But anyways, I try not to do that awful habit. Anyway. So I'm drinking some coffee, and I'm still puffing on this. I had a couple cigarettes today at the Park Place Lounge. Anyways, I have some really good news to report. I went to church this morning, and the service starts at 10:30. But we had a really good Memorial Day sermon, and I'm not going to get into that. But there was a new visitor to our church today, and I ain't going to mention her name, but turns out I went and talked to her after church and shared some things. So, I asked her if she wanted to go out for a drink. So she said yes. So she had a car, and she'd give me a ride to Park Place Lounge. So she didn't drink any alcohol. And so anyways, I was just talking to her. We were there for about 3 hours. And, I expected her to just give me a ride, come in for a drink, and leave. But we stuck around, and then we ordered some chips, and, we had some munchies. And so it was nice to meet this person, and she's probably late 40s. I don't remember exactly how old she is, but she's been transitioning for 5 years or something. So I'm not going to go into all the details, but anyways, we shared some things together, and and you know what? I am really friends with this person. I mean, I really had a wonderful time talking with her. And when I got there, I had 2 drinks right away. 2 Parrot Bay rum and pineapple drinks. They call them P&P. And you get 2 drinks for $7. And they give you a token after they make the first drink. Let me take these glasses off. And so anyways, I was very thirsty because it was so hot. And so those 2 drinks got sucked down in about 20 minutes, So I was real thirsty. I'm there, geez, I can't just keep drinking drinks. I wanted to have a martini, and that was it. But you know what? A martini is very dry. You can just sip on it. But I was very thirsty. And so I got a pitcher of ale. I got a pitcher of Killer Whale ale. So in about an hour, we were there for about 30 minutes, and then I got this ale. And I'm sipping on the ale, and we ordered some barbecue, honey barbecue twists. They're Fritos, and I really like those. They're really tasty, and they're twists. They're not chips. But anyway, so we were both nibbling on that and getting to know each other, And then about an hour, I was almost done with my pitcher, and I wanted to have a martini. So I had a very clean martini. It just had dry vermouth in it, and instead of gin, I had 2 shots of vodka and 1 olive, and I didn't have the olive juice or anything, so they call that a dirty martini. Anyways, I could tell that there was a difference in the taste, but I really enjoyed this clean martini, and I'm just sipping on that. And I still had 1 mug of beer left from my pitcher. So actually, when I finished my martini, I still had some beer left, so I just like sipped on that. But I never finished the whole stein. But anyways, another friend that I'd known from church came in for a visit, and we talked, and I shared some of my blood test results with this friend that I've had for, I don't know, since Christmas. I met him the first time. So anyways, I had a really good time talking and sharing. And, some people overheard that sitting at the bar that I know, and I was really happy about that, because, sometimes you go to a lounge or a bar and you're quiet and you just sip on your drink and there's nobody to talk to and it's boring. But I had a really good time today, And my friend that I just met today was drinking cranberry juice. She was driving and she did not want to drink any alcoholic beverages. So I respect that, So apparently she's a musician and plays the bass guitar. And I says, oh, really? So anyways, I guess she kind of jams with some other musicians from the Jacksonville area. So I told her, I says, hey, you ever go out to a club or whatever and play your music? I'd like to go, So anyway, she lives on South Side, which is on the east side of the St. Johns River that goes north and south between West Side Jacksonville and South Side Jacksonville. So anyways, but she gave me a ride. I asked her which way she was going, and she said she was going to take the highway. They call it the Beltway, 295, and it goes around south to Orange Park. Then it crosses the river and goes over to the south side. So I says, well, gee, that's, it's sort of like a little out of the way, not a direct route to the highway, 295. But I says, you can drop me, if you like, you could drop me off. So she did, and I have her phone number, and hopefully we'll get together. But we had a good talk, and she's within a couple of years of my former girlfriend's age, and but anyway, she has 5 years experience is being transgender, and it's a friend, okay, and I thought she was very attractive, and she had nice hair and nice figure and everything. So it's. Fran, I had such a good time today because, I took the bus and walked to church, and it was very hot out. I had to stop several times along my third of a mile route from the bus stop to where the church property is. But I had a good time. They air conditioned the building, so once you get in the building, oh, what a relief. I mean, it was really hot out today. Even at like 10 o'clock this morning, okay? So anyways, so I got home about 2 hours ago, a little after 3 p.m. And, I poured myself some coffee. This is some leftover coffee from this morning. I'm out. I may have to brew some more. But you know what? I had a really good day. And anyways, but geez, we're up to 9 minutes. I was a little depressed for the last couple weeks, and I think I shared some of my frustration and disappointments in some previous videos. But one thing that really bothered me, I was talking to my counselor Thursday, and I shared some of my blood test results with her. And apparently, my pituitary gland is not getting any feedback from my gonads. And, I've never been tested for this, so I don't know how long this has been going on. But I suspect it's been going on for close to 30 years, okay, since I was married. I'm 61. I got married when I was 30. when I was 31, I was tested, and they said basically I was infertile and probably unable to father children. And that was before I prayed and as a family. And, you know, my wife, we didn't have a perfect marriage, but, you know, God blessed us with 2 sons, and I have 2 sons, okay, and they're in their late 20s, okay, so I think my first son, Samuel, was born in 1985, and then 16 months later, my youngest son was born in 1986. So, you know, I was a single parent until my youngest son went into the Army in 2005. So basically for 20 years I was a parent and took care of my children. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that. That's not the point of this thing. But basically, when they took the blood test results, my counselor said to me that the hormonal output of my pituitary gland, it's a little tiny pea-sized thing in your brain, it sends signals to your gonads to produce testosterone and spermazoa, you know, the male contribution to a baby, right? You have sex, the sperm unites with the ova, and you end up with a kid, right? So, enough said there. But basically, she shared with me that my pituitary gland hormonal output was almost, you know, very similar to what a spayed or neutered animal's is, because there's a feedback loop. Okay. Let's say luteinized LH, luteinizing hormone, is secreted by your pituitary gland, you know, so much. And then it gets in your bloodstream and it goes to your gonads. Well, your gonads, you know, supposed to kick up the amount of testosterone you have, right? Well, then there's free testosterone in your bloodstream, and then that gets sent back to the pituitary gland in the bloodstream, and it's sort of like a feedback loop. And so as testosterone increases in your bloodstream, it's a negative feedback. So as your testosterone increases, the LH goes down, okay? And the normal range for LH in males is like 1.8 to 8.6, I don't know, picograms per deciliter or whatever the hell the units are. I have no idea what that is. But when they tested me, I had 24. That's 3 times the normal high for a male. So basically, that indicates that my brain is chooching out as much LH as it can to try to raise my testosterone level. And FSH is the same way. It's 3 times the maximum. And FSH controls how much sperm production you have in your testicles. So basically, across the board, my pituitary gland is cranking out 3 times the normal maximum range of normal male values to produce sperm and testosterone. So anyways, I looked this up on Wikipedia, and it basically said that my numbers were indicative or indicative of someone who's castrated or has testicular failure, okay? And folks, this has been like this for like 30 years, okay? So, and then I read more about it. You know, that's why I have hardly any libido. I don't have, you know, male sex drive. I don't have a lot of things a normal male would have. And I'm sterile, okay? And I have no interest, pretty much, in having sex. You know, I got married to have children, and yeah, hey, you know, having sex and having an orgasm is pleasurable. Admitted so, okay? But, you know, basically I've only been in bed and had sex with people I love. And who they were is my own private information. But what I'm trying to say is, Fran-Sez has never been normal, and because of my hormones and the fact I had boyhood surgeries on my testicles, I was never normal, okay? And 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 you just can't say that, like, you know, I'm sick and tired of listening to all the bullshit that these religious people put out, because you know what? I don't fit into your box from day one. Never did, okay? You know, I tried doing it your way. I got married at 30. I, fortunately, as two miracles of God, I got a couple children out of the deal. But that does not deny or discredit my dysphoria or my psychological conditions, which my counselor said my hormones and things from childhood and the way I think, that was all formed as a child. And you grow up and you're trained to be a certain thing. And you know what? It didn't work for me. Okay. I was the best man I could be. I was the best boy, goal orientated. But you know what? Maybe over the years, when I got into my 30s, you know, whatever was true in my teens and 20s, that all just kind of faded away. Okay, so basically, the way I look at it, for over 20 or 30 years, I've been basically like castrated, and my testicles have failed. And so I don't think or have the desires of a normal male, okay? So in many ways, even from childhood, I think like a female. And you can't deny that. And so don't put me in your religious box, because that doesn't work, okay? I know the scriptures better or more so than some preachers that even go to seminary, because I spent 30 years researching things. So don't tell me what it says, okay? You can't. I learned it on my own. I don't just kind of like rub a stamp what someone else taught me. I've researched it myself, okay? And I know a lot of my friends on YouTube probably don't understand what I'm saying, but I'm talking to maybe my family and people that watch my channel, that, or maybe will watch it in the future once they find out that I have a YouTube channel, okay? So, but basically what I'm trying to say is, listen, folks, I want the freedom. I was a veteran. I served my country for 6 years, and I survived my military experience. And I have the right as an American to live, pursue my happiness, and I have the freedom to do so. So don't start cramming your religious beliefs and what you have voluntarily agreed to follow according to your understanding down my throat, because that isn't going to work, okay? So, you know, I'm not a person that just kind of follows. I'm not one of these sheeple people that runs around following, you know, Joe Charisma up pounding the pulpit up in front of the church, okay? I kind of research things for myself. So, you know what? That's really all I have to say. But also, my estrogen levels were like way high, you know, like 3 times a normal low value in the band for males. In fact, my estrogen levels are higher than postmenopausal women, okay? So you know what? And plus, you know, I've been taking that spironolactone, which is an anti-androgen, for 5 or 6 years. And because I have hypogonadism and my testicles don't produce very much testosterone, that's why I grew these over several years, okay? So, you know, some girls get on HRT and it takes them 3, 4, 5, 6 months to start growing boobs. Well, you know what? I've been growing boobs for 6 years. Maybe just a little bit at a time and very reduced compared to other people, but It's been happening, okay? And you know what? So basically, with my medical condition and my heart failure, and I am a type 2 diabetic, although I've kind of controlled my blood sugar down in the low 100s with diet and avoiding certain things to eat and drink. Um, because of these risks, my doctor said he wasn't going to prescribe any kind of estradiol. So I believe that's the safe way to go. So he increased my spironolactone dose, and I've been taking that for 2.5 weeks, and then is it 2.5 weeks? Yeah, well, it'll be 3 weeks, I think, Wednesday, Thursday. But anyways, after another couple of weeks, I'm going to go in and have my blood tested, and then he's going to get the results, and I'll see him again in June. And based on how my LH, FSH, and testosterone changes, he may either increase or decrease the spironolactone, however you pronounce it, okay, to suit my needs, okay? So, I'm going about this the right way. I've been going to psychological counselor since September. I'm doing the approved path. I'm following all the Y path recommendations and doing this by the book. And so really, I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing. And you religious people out there that probably categorically deny that, people like me have a legitimate reason to exist. Well, you know what? I don't agree with you. It's my life, and I choose to live my life, the rest of my life, as I know best. And based on all the information, I have to make a judgment call, and that's it. It's my life, okay? This is my channel. And if you don't like what I say, and you don't like my lifestyle, well, that's your decision, okay? But I'm doing what I feel is right. I feel like I was deprived of a normal sexuality since I was a baby, okay? And I am not, quote unquote, anywhere near close to being male or female, okay? So like I'm a kind of a combination of both. So you know what? I don't fit into anybody's box, if you look up Wikipedia, it says gender fluidity. It's like I was trained to be a boy growing up, and I became a man. But there was characteristics I had mentally in my mind that were leaning toward the female, the feminine side, okay? And that's just the way I am. I'm a unique individual, okay? And you just have to accept that. If you don't, well, that's too bad. I'm living my life and doing what I choose to do. And it's my life. You get to choose what you do, right? So I know there's going to be religious people that judge me and reject me and aren't going to accept what I say because they're just going to write me off as some kind of sexual pervert, which is not true, okay? And, I'm just trying to be who I am, Actually, my path was surgically altered at age 9 and 11. If I hadn't had those boyhood surgeries, I never would have grew a beard. I never would have developed my male voice, okay? And I wouldn't have ended up being sterile. I would have been sterile my whole life, and I would have been unable to father any children. So that's it, okay? So I was surgically altered, okay? I was born a eunuch and would have always been a eunuch, and And who knows what I would have looked like or sounded like. My voice would have been different. My body would have been different. So, you know, folks, all you people out there, that's why when I started posting videos in February of 2013, just watch some of my previous videos about how I support the LGBT community. Because back then, even back then, I realized that, like, I'm different, I'm like them, and I'm going to support the people who are like me. And you know, I think if you discriminate against us as individuals, you are actually harming or saying, I don't have equal rights with you. Okay? I mean, you know, I grew up, was educated a certain way. I was a Boy Scout. I was a Life Scout. I was an achiever. You know, I'm an ex-Navy veteran. I served my country for 6 years active duty, and I worked hard all my life, and I supported my family and raised 2 sons alone for 15 years. So you know what, people? If you can't accept Fran-Sez for who he is, you have the problem, not me. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say in this video, but I wanted to give you an update and tell you basically where I'm at. You know, I was very emotionally upset about all these things, and for a couple of weeks, and especially since Thursday when I found out about the significance of my pituitary gland, hormone secretions, and my levels in my body. You know, it's one thing to suspect something may be true, but when you get the cold, hard facts, and you get blood test results and laboratory results, you know, I mean, who wouldn't be emotionally upset? Okay. So it's almost like, you know, Fran-Sez never had a chance to be normal. Okay. You know, all my life I was, you know, some measures were taken to try to get me to be normal. And maybe I was for a short period of time, you know, during puberty and in my 20s, but you know, after I got to a certain age, over 30 years ago, things started going south, and you know what? I never wanted to be a celibate Catholic priest, okay? I'm just not going to go there, folks, and you have no right to make any decisions about me and my sexuality, because it's none of your damn business, okay? See you later. 28 minutes. Geez, I never even thought I was going to talk for 14 minutes half this time. Love everybody. So, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow's the actual holiday. And I heard there's a big luau pig roast down at Park Place Lounge. Now, whether I go or not, I don't know, man. Should I be eating that stuff? Have a good holiday, everybody. Love you. Bye.